Hi guys, it is currently 12 a.m. on Black Friday, so let's go shopping. Now, of course, don't just go buy something because it is on sale. Don't be like me, but the way I like to look at Black Friday is there's a bunch of stuff that I need that I've been looking at for a while, so I check it. If it's on sale, I go and I grab it, and that way it's a win-win, and I didn't spend unnecessarily, but I got the thing that I wanted on sale. Anyway, let's go check them out. And I should mention some of these deals are Amazon Prime exclusive. So if you don't have an Amazon Prime membership, then you can do what I like to do, which is sign up for the free trial, buy all of my goods, and then forget to cancel my Amazon Prime membership and keep it forever. Anyway, let's go to the computer. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to mention is for my ZV-E10 peeps. I know a lot of people watch this channel. They have the ZV-E10 or they want it. And B&H is running a couple of promos right now. So if you get the 15mm 1.4 with the ZV-E10, you get $150 off. Now, the 15mm is $100 off itself, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but you get an extra $50 off if you do that bundle. If you wanted the 10 to 20, that new little power zoom, then you will also get $150 off. So that is a nice little bonus right there. Oh, and I should mention the little cage that you can get for the ZV-E10 as well. That is also on sale, 20% off. So for 40 bucks, you get that nice little ZV-E10 cage, and it's upgraded version, so the hot shoe isn't blocked like it was on the original version that I got. So go get yourself that if you were looking to build out your rig for your little ZV-E, or if you just want it to have a bigger feel in your hand, because that grip feels really nice on that cage. Now let's look at some other Sony deals. I mentioned this in my video on Monday because the deals for Sony already came out, but you can get a $500 off the A7R IV if you are, a landscape photographer, portrait photographer, wedding photographer. This is something you might want. You can also get $500 off the A7R III. So if you, want a full frame camera, 42 megapixels, this is a great deal right here. They also have, if you want to get into the full frame world, you go the A7 II, and you can get that for now under $1,000. Look at that, $998 to get a full frame Sony mirrorless camera that takes all those fancy E-mount lenses. The battery is a bit small and it doesn't take fantastic video, and it is not as good at autofocusing as the newer Sony cameras, but it is a great way to get into the full frame world on a budget with Sony. And speaking of the newer cameras, now, these aren't brand new, they're the last generation, and the A7 III is $300 off. So for $1,700, you can get yourself an A7 III, and the A7C is $200 off. So for $1,600, you get one of the most underrated cameras in the world, in my opinion. And also the little ZV-1. The ZV-1 is $100 off if you want a little tiny camera for yourself to go vlogging and doing whatever, your travel camera. $100 off the little ZV-1. See, here it is right here, Black Friday deal, $648. That is not bad to get a nice quality camera like that. And speaking of quality cameras, now I know mostly my viewers are Sony people, but I gotta mention the Panasonic deals. There's a couple of screaming deals. The GH6, which just came out, is $500 off. So you can get it for $1,700, a very fantastic cinema type camera, the GH6. And Panasonic is not done there. They have the S5 for $500 off too. Let me just look that up. Look at this, body only $1,500 for a full frame Panasonic camera that shoots 6K RAW. It outputs over HDMI. This thing is a ridiculous video camera. Yes, autofocus is not Panasonic's strength. So if you need autofocus, you will look elsewhere. But a lot of people who are doing film and they want to do short things, short films, documentaries, narrative work, full feature films, and that they plan to use manual focus, boy, oh boy, these two deals are, I feel like buying them, and I have too many cameras already. And now let's look at some lenses, and this one is hard to believe. $244 for the 30mm 1.4 for E-mount. If you have an APS-C camera, or even a full-frame camera, and you want to shoot in APS-C mode for video, let's say, boy, oh boy, 30mm 1.4 for $244. I mentioned this on Monday as well. I just have to mention it again, because this is a lens that you should pick up. You got an FX30, ZV-E10, anything else? Meh. In fact, all of the Sigma Prime lenses, the 16, the 30, and the 56. Here's the 16 for $334, and here's the 56. for $359. I'm shooting on the Sigma 16mm right now, and that is what I use in the studio a lot with my FX30. The 56mm is the best portrait lens that you can buy for the Sony APS-C system, and the 30mm is a fantastic focal length. It's close to that 50mm, that nifty 50. You get that normal field of view, so street photography, things like that, travel photography, travel videos. Boy, oh boy, the 30mm. These three lenses, a steal. And they have one more, the Sigma 18-50, which I reviewed very highly. It also has macro capabilities, this 18-50. It is such a fantastic light little lens, great to replace the kit lens on any of your Sony APS-C cameras. $454 for that lens. Fantastic bargain. Another bargain is the Viltrox 13mm f1.4. I use that a lot for vlogging on the ZV-E10 and the FX30, and they have that down now to $399 from Viltrox, one of my favorite lenses. It's certainly not the smallest lens in the world, but it is absolutely optically fantastic. 13mm 1.4 on for $399, which is the cheapest I have seen it since it's been released. But Sony has their own lenses on sale as well, as I alluded to. That 11mm is $50 off for $500. The 15mm 1.4 is $100 off for $648, and the 10-20 is 14% off at $648. So you another $100 off that. And they have more too. The full frame line, they have the 20mm $100 off. A lot of their G Master lenses are $100 off. So what I will do is I will just list them all in the description, and you can check any of the Sony lenses that you were looking for, see if they are on sale, and then go through my link to make me rich. Now, when you're going to have those fancy cameras and lenses, you're going to need a hard drive to edit off of. I love the Samsung T7. 2 terabytes is extremely fast. It's an SSD. Here is this one's the T5. I'm actually using the T7 right now. So the T5, the T7, either or, absolutely great. I like the 2 terabytes. That gives me a little more room. And seeing how it's 30% off for $189 for this fantastic, it's so fast that you can edit those 4K files. You know, I'm editing 4K 120 on the FX30, no problem at all on the Samsung T7. Now, SanDisk have their own version of that. The SanDisk SSD, the 2 terabytes is $220, so it is a little more expensive, but it also has more of a rugged coating, a rubberized type coating, and so that is their comparable SSD. Get one of those two, I think, if you want to edit. Especially, you can take this around on the go. It's not like spinning discs. It's not going to break. These things are extremely durable. The SSD is very fast, very durable, very small and cute, and you should pick one up, if you need one. So I'm always picking up SD cards on Black Friday because you always need them. And here's one of my all-time favorites, the Extreme Pro SanDisk here, and at 128 gigs for $24. So I'll get a couple of those because I usually have 2 card slots, so I stick them in right there. And they're great for anything where you don't need intensive. Like if you're going to do 4K 60 or 4K 120, you're going to need a higher grade, the Pro grade cards or the maybe the Sony Tough cards. But for everything you're shooting in 8-bit, the A7C, the A7iii, the ZV-E10, this thing will cover you fine. Now, for those of you who need a faster card, let's look at that. You can get a 64 gig Sony Tough card at 11% off for $98. And those things are absolutely, I'm slowly replacing all of my cards with the Sony Tough cards because my cameras are getting more and more intensive, like the FX30, and they never break. I like the SanDisk cards a lot, but I have broken them over the years. But these Sony Tough cards are so tough. That's a good name. Get the Tough cards. If it's not in the budget, I think the SanDisk will do you fine as long as you don't need those higher frame rates. And now let's look at my all-time favorite light, the Godox UL150. I have it over there lighting up my gorgeous face. It is 14% off, $379, and I've never seen it that low, actually. $379 for the UL150. If you don't need that much power, and I really didn't in this studio, it's just this light wasn't out at the time, you can go with the Godox UL60. Now, the UL60 is 17% off, so for $250, these are dead silent lights. They're passive cooling. They don't have a fan. That's why I love them so much, and I keep them in the studio. However, if you think they're a little pricey, the best value lights are definitely the small rig RC120s. Look at this, $175 for a 120 watt light, and you can get the bicolor or you can get the daylight version. The daylight version is a little more powerful, but the bicolor version is plenty powerful. $175 for the 120D, and the 120B is $207. So it also costs a little more to get the bicolor, which makes a lot of sense. And of course, you're going to need a softbox to go along with that. Once again, the best deal here is got to be the small rig. If you look at the 21-inch one, it's $110. Normally, it's $87 right now, 20% off. All of them, I think, are 20% off. Here is the bigger one at 85 centimeters, a 33-inch one. And again, 21% off at $123. And then the giant one doesn't appear to be on sale. Plus, you don't need the giant one for the most part in your studio. I have a little one over here and a regular size one, a medium one over there. I'll put the links in there, but these just, there's 2 layers of diffusion in there. It comes with a grid. They're so great to put together. They're the quick release ones and they work very, very well. Very impressed with those. They are my favorite softbox. And of course, you need those little pocket lights. And this one here is the Falcon Eyes F7. I reviewed this, I think, almost 2 years ago. I love it a lot. It's my favorite little pocket light overall. I like it more than the Aperture MC because, number one, it's about half the price. And number two, it just has lasted better. My Aperture MC, my screen gave out on it. But the Aperture MC is on sale too, and that's a great little light. It's just my screen happened to crap out. But for this one, $47 and still going strong. That's a great little pocket light. There's an even cheaper one by We-Lite. Look at this We-Lite, the SO3, $20. I actually have 4 of those because they are super cheap. And the thing about them is they only have an on and off switch. You control everything by the app on your phone. That would be the drawback from something like this. And also this one has magnets on the back, whereas the little We-Lite, it doesn't have magnets on the back, but it gets the job done and you control it with the phone. It's actually quite a good app, and I have all 4 running at different times. And for $20, get yourself a couple of pocket lights. I'll just interject here to say I just did a review of the Zhiyun M40, and while it's a little bit bigger than a regular pocket light, boy is this powerful. This is literally 10 times as powerful as the Aperture MC or this Falcon Eyes F7. And right now you can get 2 for the price of 1, and 1 is $99. So you get 2 for $99 if you sign up through the link that I will put down in the description anyway. If you need a more powerful pocket light and you want 2 for $100, it's a really good deal. Now, if you're going to be doing the vlogging, especially with the little ZV-E10 and small little lenses, you're going to want small little gimbals. And Zhiyun has you covered there. My 2 favorite gimbals ever is the Crane M2S and the Crane M3. M2S is 26% off at $200, and the M3 is $295, 20% off. Hold on, I have them right here. Look at these guys, so tiny and light. If you have bigger or heavier lenses, like the Sigma 16mm, I would go with the Crane M3, but if you just have like the Sony 11mm and the ZV-E10, this guy will do you fine, or the Sony ZV-E10 and the kit lens. Once again, the M2S will do you just great. I absolutely love these things and I use them all the time. But if you need something more heavy duty, look at the Weebill 3. It has the cool armrest and handle, and I really love that gimbal for heavier setups, especially for long use. $359. That is a savings of 20%, and I really like that gimbal. So if you need a bigger one, there you go, Weebill 3. In terms of tripods, if you've watched my channel, you know that I love the Ulanzi quick release F38 tripod. In fact, I have a little one here too. This is another F38 quick release tripod. I recommend you look at the entire quick release system. The travel tripod, it's kind of like the Peak Design one, but in my opinion, better in pretty much every way. And you just quick release on and off, so light, so easy to carry. And because it's quick release and it has a whole system, I can switch it onto my backpack on my little shoulder strap. I can just put it on my little tripod. I have other ones put on other tripods because you can buy the plates themselves. So everything I have is now quick release. So I really love the F38 quick release system, but my favorite thing by far is the tripod, the F38. I use it every single day, really. But if you need a more basic tripod, like I have one here in the studio that just stays set up with the camera on it, and that is the K&F tripod. It is $90. It's 25% off right now, $90. This thing has been lasting me. Right now I'm on year 4 of it. I love it. It just sits in my studio. It does the job. It's actually quite light and easy to carry around too, but I just keep it here. It is, if you just want a standard tripod that's going to get the job done, really like the K&F tripod. Now, if you need a heavy-duty tripod, take a look at the SmallRig AD01. I reviewed this thing. I love it. I have it just right behind me there. I use it for my sliders and my big SmallRig setups, and this is fantastic. $135, 20% off right now. Really, really like that tripod. Now, a lot of people ask me what ND filters I use all the time because, you know, my footage looks so fantastic. And I always use, again, the K&F. It's just nice, simple, gets the job done, and it has great quality, and it costs a fraction of the big boys. So right here is $55. It is 20% off the one that I use. It's the Nano series filter. This one I'm pointing at is a 67 millimeter. Make sure you get the right filter size for your lens, or buy the bigger one and use step-up rings. But I bought a couple of the 67s because a lot of my lenses are 67 millimeters, including this Sigma 16mm f1.4. So there it is. If you need an ND filter, this one, I like it. Now, in terms of microphones, lavalier microphones, I have this one here. It's the Hollyland Lark 150, and they designed that box with the charging case before DJI came out with theirs, and I have just used that ever since. And a lot of people ask me when I'm out doing my vlogs, how come the audio is so good? And to me, it's my radio voice, but really, it's the Hollyland Lark 150. It actually comes with lavaliers that plug in to these tiny little, I'll just pull one out, these tiny little transmitters right here, and the actual receiver, it has these analog dials, so you can just, it's so easy to use. It's got a nice bright screen. It works so flawlessly, and I have used it for a year and a half straight with no problems whatsoever. I love this, and it's 15% off at $237, but you get everything with it. The Rode is also, the Rode Wireless Go 2 is also on sale, but the Rode Wireless doesn't come with any lavaliers, so you have to buy those separately, so that becomes much more expensive. Now, the Lark 150 doesn't have internal recording like, say, the Rode or the DJI, so that could be a drawback for some of you, but for me, the sound quality and the convenience is worth that price. Speaking of worth the price, this is again Hollyland, the Lark M1. I have another one of these right here. This one, you don't plug a mic in, you just clip it to your shirt, and that is it. But look at how small and light these things are. Oh my goodness gracious. And this is their little charging case right here. That is for $120 for just stick it there on your lapel and go. No wires, no anything needed. Just take this around and you're done. It's fantastic, and they're very, very popular for good reason. They sound great, and they're very convenient. Now, for those of you looking for just one microphone and you want it to be as budget as possible while also sounding good, you gotta go with the Deity Pocket Wireless. Now, that's 47% off. It is $90. So to get a high quality lavalier wireless microphone from Deity for $90, so that's great. If you don't need the two, like, and don't want the charging cases and stuff like that, like I really like the Hollyland, and that's the one I use the most, but I do take the Deity around when I'm trying to travel light and small. I'll just grab that little receiver and the transmitter. It also comes with a lavalier microphone, which is great, and it sounds wonderful, and it's $90, so that's something to look at. Now, in terms of shotgun mics, I have a shotgun mic boomed over my head right now. If you want a shotgun mic to sound a little more professional there in the studio, I think the best deal to get is the Deity again, but the D3 Pro. It is on for $99. The sound quality coming out of that guy for $99, it doesn't make any sense. So you could just boom that over your head, run it straight in to the 3.5 millimeter jack on your camera, especially if you have a little extension cord. Get yourself a 3.5 millimeter extension cord, boom it over your head. Sounds fantastic. The D3 Pro for $99, can't go wrong. So there you go, shop responsibly, otherwise your wife might give you the old boot in the back. And don't forget to use my affiliate links, make me stinking rich, and make my wife less inclined to kick me in the back. And we'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.